Hey guys, let's do some makeup.
Subscribe to my channel.
Hi guys, welcome to another tutorial. In this video, I'm going to be doing an eyeshadow tutorial, a blush tutorial, and a lipstick tutorial. So we're starting off with the eyeshadow. I'm using this palette from Everbeauty, and I pick up a brown shade there with my eyeshadow brush, and I am just transitioning first. So the transition is usually the first shade, and you usually want to focus it on the outer corner of the eye, and then I am just building it up. So it's always better to apply a little bit at a time and build it up. So I go back and forth, and I'm moving that brush to the inner corner just so that it merges and blends with the nose contour, as you see me doing in this video. So you want to be gentle, and you want to take a little product at a time. Remember to hold the brush at the tip and let the brush flow fluidly through your hands. I know that it might be difficult if you're a beginner, but don't worry, you get better at it. So I just keep on blending it out when I get to the top with the brush, and I keep going back and forth until I am satisfied. So when I get to that part, I use a beauty blender, and I'm just taking a little bit of setting powder to make it very, very neat. I really want it looking neat, so your setting powder can help you to get that neatness at the corner of your eye. So I'm doing the same for the second eye, and then I am going to be using my concealer to cut the crease. The concealer is a Maybelline brand, and I am just putting a little bit on the back of my hand, and I'm going in with a rounded brush, and I'm going to be picking a little bit of that concealer, and I am just placing it there. So this is what we call the cut crease, and you're going to keep on building it. The same thing, you're going to be going in little batches. Don't apply too much product because you're going to have a hard time blending. So take your time and make sure that you are patient with yourself. Guys, makeup can be very, very tiring on your hands, but trust me, it's so worth it if you take the time. So I keep on building it like so, and I just keep on patting it wherever I place the concealer. I'm using the brush to pat it. This just helps to give it an even blend. So you want to make sure that it is being patted into the eyeshadow so that it all looks like it's very harmonious. Still, I keep on doing that, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the second eye. I like to do like this because, guys, I get so lazy sometimes. So if I do one eye and I just finish off with one eye, the second eye is probably not going to come out evenly. So I like to do them one at a time so that I get the best results. So you have to make sure that they're both on the same angle as well. You keep on patting and make sure that it is sitting properly. And I'm going back into that transition shade to blend it into the concealer so that it looks very, very even. It looks very nice. So you want to do that just to clean out any harsh lines as well. So I'm just patting that, and pushing it into the concealer until I get a very, very even look. Now I'm going back into my concealer and picking a lighter shade, and I am placing it there. So I'm placing it on top of the concealer to make sure that it looks very, very nice. So I keep building it up as usual. But as you can see, there is going to be a harsh line between the first transition shade and the second shade. But not to worry, we're going to even it out with another shade. So I'm doing the same thing for this eye. I'm patting. I'm just making sure that the eyeshadow sits properly on that eye. So you want to be gentle. And remember, you're working on your eyes. You have to be gentle so that you don't hurt yourself. So I'm just patting like I said, and I'm building up. Always build up in little layers. So I'm going into that shimmery shade, and I'm just taking a little bit of that. This is where I'm going to be placing it just right there. This helps to even out and blend that transition shade into that nude shade that I have placed. So I am going to build as usual, and as you can see, it's looking like a very soft brown shimmery shade. But not to worry, I'm still going to put another shade of shimmer on top of it. So I'm just building it and building it and building it. So I keep on going back and forth until I get a very nice even blend. So this just works perfectly with those two shades. So if you're going to get a shade to blend the two colors, you want to make sure that is a shade that can match both of them evenly without looking overly out of place. So now I'm going in with that pink shade. Now I'm placing the pink shade. Now because I have put the brown shade, it helps the pink shade to really sit in on the eye like so. So I'm doing the same thing for the other side, and I keep on going back and forth until it looks nice and seamless. So be patient with yourself, and also make sure that you're building it. And especially if you're doing like a night look, you want to make sure that it's pretty pronounced. In the daytime, you could go away with just a little shimmer, but if you don't add a little bit more in the night, it may not look like you have applied anything. Now I'm going in with this e.l.f. liquid liner. I got this from Walmart, and I'm going to be linking the products in the description. So go ahead and look at the products, and you can see some products that you can get and use. So I'm just lining my eyes. So a good trick for lining your eyes is to make sure that your hands are very steady. You don't want to be going back and forth. You just want to draw that liner one time. This just helps you to get that line seamless. And also for your eyeliners, always get a very thin brush. You have a better luck or a better chance at getting a perfect liner with a very, very nice brush. I always pay attention to my liner brush. I really want it thin so that when I am doing that wing liner, it just comes out as perfectly as you see. Technique is good, but also the tool that you use matters as well. And I'm just going to go ahead and do the front. So I always like to do the middle first, then I go all the way to the edge, and then the middle, the front I like to do last. As you can see, this just helps me to control the product at each stage. So however works for you, you can do that, but this just works for me. I've been doing it for a while, and it seems to work every time. So I'm doing the same thing, doing my liner, and I'm just going to be having steady hands, guys. Trust me, you want your hands to be steady because it just helps in the lining. So I keep on going until I get the perfect liner. So guys, keep on watching. So you can see that there is a mess, but don't worry, it's going to get better. Anyways, I'm just following that line, and when I get to the edge of that eye, I'm just pulling in from the edge. Guys, you can see that it's really coming together, and then I am doing the inner corner last as usual. This technique is really, really good for your eyeliner. Trust me, if you've tried it before, you will testify that this is so much easier to do the inner lining last because it just lets you control it, right? So take your time, guys. The winged liner also needs practice. So if you don't get it the first time, you can try again. Whenever your wing liner there is like a mistake, you can always use your spoolie brush to scrape it off. But you have to wait for it to dry before you do that. Now I'm going in with a roll-up liner, and I'm just using that for the inner corner of my eye, my bottom lid, because I really wanted to blend with that top lid. So I like to do the bottom and the top as well, just to make everything look even and nice. Now I'm taking that black shadow and I'm smoking the bottom liner just to give it a little more depth. Now you don't want to do too much, so take a little bit at a time, and remember to always dust off your brush when you pick any powder. So I'm going from front to back, as you can see, and I'm doing it as gently as possible. Remember, you're working with black. Any wrong move could change everything, so you want to be careful. Also, you want to always tap your brush so that there are no fallouts on your makeup. So I'm just going ahead, guys. I love to be extra. So I'm doing like a double liner for that winged liner. And guys, trust me, it was not easy. My hands were like, we're tired already, but I had to trust the process. And as you can see, it came out looking very, very nice. So I had to replicate the same thing on the other eye, as you can see me doing here. You want to make sure that both eyes are as even as possible. So as you can see, it looks nice. Now guys, I'm so extra. Even with this, I was not satisfied. So I went in with a glitter liner. And as you can see, the glitter liner has a brush, but for this particular brand, the brush is a little big, so I had to be very, very gentle, or else I will overline or underline. So this part, you need extra patience, because it took a little bit of time, because I kept on going back and forth to get it where I wanted it to be exactly. So I keep on building it up like so. I'm going back and forth as so. So this is what it's looking like so far, and I'm going to also do the same for the other eye. So I want to make sure that this eye looks as seamless as possible, and then I can go ahead and switch to the other eye. Now when it comes to your liner, you can do it as a half liner, or you can do a full liner. I was going for somewhat full liner, so you can see me extending it all the way out. Now I'm going to do the same thing. Yep. Guys, that was supposed to be a trick, but well, we don't do that here. We take our time. So I'm going ahead to do the same for this eye. And one eye is always harder than the other, so don't worry, it's not just you, it happens to the best of us too. I always have a hard time getting the second eye as seamless as possible, but as I said, be patient and keep on trying and trying and trying. If you don't get it the first time, you get it the second time, so be patient with yourself. As you can see, I'm trying to extend it all the way out, as you can see. But so far it looks good. I really like it. I love always adding a gel liner. It just spices your eyeshadow up, especially when you have like just one color eyeliner. Using a gel liner can really change the look. So as you can see, the look is looking the makeup is looking nice. Guys, remember I said I'm extra. I've added some more gel liner in between that double liner. It didn't really make too much of a difference, but I think it was somewhat okay. But feel free to stop at the one liner, the one gel liner, or the top gel liner, or just the regular black gel liner, right? This is if you like being extra like me, you can go ahead and do this. Now we're getting into the blush tutorial. So I always use a cream blush, and whenever I'm done with a cream blush, I like to pick a powder blush to make the blush even more pronounced. Now, or to set the blush, right? So I'm picking this peachy shade and I'm using it to pat on my cheeks. As you can see, I like to use a fluffy brush. This brush I got from Walmart. It's the Real Techniques. This is the 4-in-1 set with a beauty blender. So this I'm just pressing and pressing and pressing until I get an even match. So if you feel like your blush is too much, that is not a problem. Go ahead and use your powder brush to even it out just a little bit. Well, I know some of the ladies love a lot of blush, so feel free to have as much blush as you want. But this is This is pretty okay for me, so I'm just trying to adjust it and make sure that they look as close to each other as possible. Like I said, you can go in with your powder brush to feather it out. So this is what it's looking like now. Let's get into that lip tutorial. Now for the lip, I like to use my pencil, a lipstick, and then a colored gloss. So this is the Davis pencil. You can find it in on Shein. I have the link to my Shein storefront in the description, so do make sure you check it out and use the code to get lots of discounts. So I'm just placing that pencil. I don't like to overline my lip because I don't think I need it. My lips are pretty full, so I don't try to overline them. So I just go ahead and line it like I would following the natural line. And I'm just going ahead to run this on the top first, and then I'm going to do the bottom after. So this pencil is in the shade 018. This is a Davis pencil in the shade 018. And I'm just running this back and forth until I have gotten a very, very nice liner. And then I like to just pat my lips a bit so that I can really get into those corners. Now I'm doing the bottom. The way I line the bottom and the top is not necessarily the same because I try to achieve different looks. So this time I'm just doing a very thin liner for the bottom lip, as you can see. And then I'm just going back and forth until I have gotten a very even liner. And I think this is pretty much okay. So I'm going to go ahead and go into that lipstick. The lipstick I'm using is the Vinyl lipstick from the Maybelline brand. This you can find in Walmart. Again, there is a link to the in my description box. You can go ahead and check some products. So I'm just placing this like so, guys. This looked like a disaster. At a point I was like, what is going on? But guys, trust the process, trust the process. I just placed this and I'm goofing off, but then I'm going to use a brush to blend this out. So it's always good to have a brush handy so that you can always blend out the product. I like to use a very little brush. This is a lip brush. Then I just run it over like so. I go back and forth until I have gotten it exactly the right way. So you can go ahead and apply some more brown liner or a brown lipstick just to reline that brown, right? If you feel like the nude lipstick or the second lipstick that you use is too overpowering, you can go back into your brown liner and just make it the way you want it. But I was still working, guys, trust me. I had to go back into the pencil because I didn't really like it. I felt like the lipstick was overpowering the lip liner. So you can go ahead and do that if that is your style. And I also touched the bottom liner as well. So this is just the base because I will be using a lip gloss that is very pigmented. So I try to get the base looking as nice as possible so that when I place that lip gloss, it's just going to make everything look very nice and it will come together. So I'm just touching the lipstick on parts that have patches. You want to fix that because if you don't, it might penetrate through your gloss. So make sure that your lipstick is well applied and then you can go ahead and place your gloss. So for me, I like to use a lipstick and a gloss that have a very similar shade. So that is what I'm doing in this video. I'm using the XOXO by the Zaron brand and I am just placing it all over that lipstick. So as you can see, the shades are very, very similar. So everything just comes together very nicely. So I am just applying and so far I think I really like it. So once again, if you feel like you need to adjust your brown, you can go ahead and adjust your brown. It all depends on your preference. So I'm just running this through, and I really love how it's looking. I really love that gloss, guys. That gloss smells so good. Like, I don't know what is in that product, but it smells so good, guys. If you can find the Zaron brand, do make sure you try to get it. It is a Nigerian brand, so I got it when I was in Nigeria. However, I think they do distribute, so you want to try that out, right? It's a very nice brand, and it's so pigmented. Like, the pigment and the gloss, you can actually use the gloss with just the liner and it will still work perfectly for you. That is why I like to have a lot of pigmented glosses, because sometimes when I don't want to wear like a lipstick, I just wear a pigmented gloss and it works as well. So once again, I'm running that brush over the lip gloss to get everything evenly blended, and I really love the outcome. And guys, as you can see, I am extra. I went in again with another gloss. This one has like lots of glitter in it, so it just switched up the gloss a little bit, so it turned this into like a pink kind of lip gloss. And I really like the combo because I thought it was going to be like a very deep purple or burgundy shade, but then it turned out looking like a soft pink. So I was like, okay. As you can see, there's lots of glitter in there. It has lots of purple glitter. So as you can see, I was feeling myself. I feel like the makeup came out looking nice. And when I am done, I like to spray setting spray just to break down all of that powder. So I am using the One Size by Patrick Star, and as you can see, everything is going to blend in together. Guys, that spray smells so good. I don't know what's in it, but it smells super good. That you can find in Sephora. And when the spray has dried down, I like to grab a mascara wand and just run it over my lashes. This is a very nice technique, especially if you tend to have very shaky hands. Then you can actually do this when you're done with everything, so that it doesn't also like ruin your makeup. So this is something that I like to do. So you don't have to do it. You can do your mascara immediately after your liner. That is totally fine, but I feel like this method really works for me, right? So you might want to try it, guys. So guys, I'm running this mascara over my non-existent lashes. Well, guys, it came out looking nice. Although I feel like this mascara is a very soft black. I would have preferred it a little bit darker, but not to worry. I think it's still very okay, and I really love the outcome. So guys, this is just the end of everything, right? When you're done with this, the makeup is basically done, and then you're just gonna sit and let everything dry before you go ahead and do whatever you want to do. As you can see, I'm so happy with the outcome. I love every single thing in this makeup tutorial. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next one, guys.